Good Sunday, everybody.
Sunday fun day.
Yeah,
Tweedledee.
Sunday.
Anyhow, how's your day going?
Crappy, but hey, it's just another day.
Hi, fishing with that. How you doing, hon? Um, the snow on the front porch was in the shade and is
Hey, Dot.
melting. So, it's one of those, okay, all right, that's something new, you know? So,
Yeah,
yeah. But, yeah, I'm itching. I'm waiting. I'm ready to rock and roll. I want to get going. I want to get to play outside, you know?
yeah,
And we're warming up, which is a good thing. But the ground won't be warm enough for planting until May 8th, 9th, 10th, something around there. So I still have some time to wait, but
yeah,
the sooner the better, and I can't wait, you know. Anyhow, yeah. And oh, FYI, those that might know it, might not know it, I don't know. But yesterday I put 2 videos up, had them marked child friendly, and the comments were there. And then this morning I woke up and they took away the comments for child friendly. So I don't know if it was YouTube just messing with me or what the deal was, but it is what it is. Anyhow, uh, yeah, I'm gearing up for whatever, and hopefully a lot of other people are too. And you know, it's one step at a time, one day at a time. Do what you can, make every day count, and count your blessings in between. Prepare for the worst and pray for the best. You know,
yeah.
so. And I know Dot's a fisherman, and so I'm hoping that the fishermen are having a lot better chances and stuff. Better luck with the fish. But I also know that the East Coast has gotten nailed with storms, and the Southeast has too. So, you know, it just doesn't seem to stop no matter what you do. You know, and good, bad, or otherwise. Well, hello. You're late as usual, Christy Sue, but we
Hey,
still
Christy.
welcome you. Yeah.
Unfashionably late.
Apparently, she didn't set her clock ahead. Yeah. Yesterday or last night, this morning, whatever you want to call it, everybody was supposed to set their clocks ahead 1 hour. Those of us that
I
do
set,
that is.
I set mine back, like you said.
Yeah. Fall back in the spring and spring forward in the fall.
Spring
But
forward, back. Spring back
no,
forward.
I'm happy because this week we're like above freezing. We're actually in the 50s, and oh, we get one day of 62 now, they're saying. So, yay, I'll take it. It's a lot better than 50 below zero, so I'm
Yeah, it'll be
definitely not knocking it.
a longer day by an hour, so yeah, you'll get more sunlight.
Yeah, so I'm happy. Can't wait to get outside and be able to do yard work and stuff. And Yeah, I know we'll be stuck in on rainy days, but hey, could be worse. You know, it can always be worse. But I'm doing what I can. Hi Dobson, how you doing?
Hey, Dobson.
We're just sitting around shooting the bull and getting ready for whatever happens and you know, relaxing, having some fun,
Hey,
you know.
Jessica.
Hey Jessica, how you doing? I know, honey, you can't stay long, but you always pop in to say hi and show support, and we appreciate it. So, anyhow, the bright side to this is spring is here for the northern part of the country, and actually starts next week, um, calendar wise. But with all the BS that's going on in the world, at least we don't have to worry about freezing to death. You know, not like you do in the wintertime. But we gotta make the best of things to our ability and make each day count and count our blessings and find something big or small to laugh at. You know, take time out to smell the roses or the flowers, dodge the bees, the mosquitoes if you have them. I know Arizona had a mosquito. I saw a picture of one from Arizona today. And so, yeah, that season's coming. Oh boy. And what I didn't know and I found out was the hummingbirds go down south in the wintertime. And when it gets cold, they actually hibernate. They go into a deep sleep. Okay? People think they're dead, but they're not. They're just in a deep sleep. And then when it warms up, they come out of sleep again. Awesome. Yeah. You're out on the East Coast, aren't you, Dobson? 'Cause 8 degrees wind chill. Yeah, that's still nipply out, you know. And when I don't mean it in a bad way or any perverted way. It's just, meaning chilly. It's still chilly out. Thank you for stopping by, Jessica.
All right,
Um,
later, Jessica.
anyhow, it's like, if you know how to fish, Ohio close enough. Hey, you're east of the Mississippi River. Okay, how's that one for you, Dobson? um, oh, crap, my mind just went. Meh, I lost the thought. But oh, I know what I was gonna say. Cause the fishing, Dobson's a fisherman and Dot's a fisherman too. And anyhow, I was gonna say, those are good things to know how to do because they they know how to fish. Well, that means they know how to eat. They will always be able to catch fish as long as there's fish to catch. They aren't gonna go hungry. They might get tired of eating
Mhm.
fish, but they're not gonna go hungry. And growing a garden's the same way. However, don't assume other people know how to garden because there are grandparents and mom and dads that never gardened. So how are the younger people going to know how to garden? It's like fishing. There are how many adults that never casted a fish line
Yep. Or
or
even
put
yeah. Go ahead,
put a
Jessica.
worm on a ding hook or a piece of corn on a hook. Oh yeah, those are
Yeah,
ways.
baiting their hooks.
Yep, that's those are baiting for fish. Those are different forms of it. as well as your jiggers and all of that flies and stuff, you know. Um, but if you don't know,
Yeah,
you don't
there's a lot of
know, and
people.
you don't know
People, a
if you
lot of
don't know,
people.
you might not know who knows, or gee, I see this person playing out in the garden area or whatever. They put that stuff in, and then this food comes up. You know, is that person's gonna want to talk to me and let me learn from them, or because people don't talk to anybody anymore. 90% of the people, 99% of the people, they're always looking down when they're walking. They don't look where they're going. And if they're driving, they do the same thing. They're always looking at their phone, you know. And oh, I'm a safe driver. I can text and all that on my phone while I'm driving. No, that's a distraction. That's a
I'm a
vehicle
slave
you
driver.
you will not get me in. Sorry, you know. But yeah, don't always assume because assuming doesn't get you very far, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, the cover on that book looks like a really good book. Did you read the back cover of it? No. Did you check any of the writing out on the pages in it? No. Well, then you're assuming, you know, and to assume isn't going to get you any place, because I could assume God's night's going to let me use his chainsaw or his garden tiller, and I don't need to ask him because, I'm assuming he will, and so I go and take it. Well, then he calls the cops on me and gets me busted for stealing his stuff. Well, I assumed it was okay.
Yeah,
No, it's not cool. So, yeah. I mean, couldn't you see it if the guys or the people, because it's not just guys that do it, but I was going to say a burglar, okay, regardless of male or female, I don't care. Go to court, and the judge goes, why did you break into this person's home or
hey
XYZ's
Jarvis.
homes? And you go, well, I assumed it would be okay. I assumed they would give it to me. Hi, Richard Jarvis. Um, you know, well, no, it's still called theft. It's still called
Yeah,
burglarizing, you know? And, I mean, it's just, yeah, that's why you don't assume anything. It's like if you go someplace and a door's open and you don't have permission to go in that door, don't matter that it was left open. Did you know you can still get busted for breaking and entering? Yep, you know. So, yeah, there's all kinds of little nicks and nannies and tricks and trades,
yeah,
but you know, and I've seen it happen repeatedly, and it's not good when it does. I mean, life's too short for assuming because it means that, you know, you're assuming everybody knows what you know. Well, no, not everybody knows what you know, and some people know more and some people know less, you know?
yeah,
I mean, a lot of people they can go from A to Z or A to B in a straight line. Well, others they try it, it don't work. They got to go up, down, around, under, over, backwards, forwards to get to point B from point A. Why? Because that's the only way it works for them, you know. So, yeah. And let's see. Oh, yeah. I I'm going to repeat this again. Hi, Hedgehog. Um
hey Jarvis.
I went and I done 2 videos yesterday, and I had them set for child friendly. And yesterday the comments worked on 'em. Today the comments didn't work on them. So in order for me to get my comments back, I had to put them to not child friendly. So yeah, I mean it was crazy. But just so you know that YouTube once again has changed their policy on stuff. And if you want, you could appeal to them to get it, you know, so you can get your comments back on it. But anyhow, yeah, St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Are y'all ready? You gonna put your green on?
I don't own anything green. Oh, wait, I think I do. I think I have a shirt that's green, but I don't do that anyways. I don't do that.
You know,
That's just me though.
well, that's understandable. Not everybody is Irish, but a lot of people like that green beer.
I don't.
I don't either, but yeah. I never actually got into that green beer stuff.
Neither did I. I never got
Um,
into any of the St. Patrick stuff. Only in school and whatnot, like high school, junior high, grade school. After that, I didn't care for it.
oh, hi Cajun, how you doing?
Hey,
Um,
occasion.
we mainly had St. Patrick's Day when in elementary, junior high, and high school. No,
Yeah, we
it's
did.
just when you were a little kid, you know. So anyhow, that's what the two shamrock shakes while kissing the blarney stone is all about.
The
You know,
blimey stuff.
that too, the blarney stone.
The
Hey,
blimey
what do you
stuff.
expect? I'm not. You know, go ahead, make fun of me. I
No, I
get
wasn't
tongue
making
tied.
fun of you.
I
I was adding to
I
it.
know,
Like,
I know. It's just you know, sometimes my pronunciation's fine, and other times it's tongue tied city. So um, yeah, it's just um. So I don't know what the YouTube thing is. Who's it's hard to keep up. But yeah, in order for me to get comments back on those 2 videos, I had to put it to not child friendly, so people could put comments up there if they wanted to. But it is whatever. Um, I would like help though, really, to come up with some names for those 2 things, and you know, not nothing bad, you know, but time will tell because I'd hate to go, yo, hey you, yeah, you, and bring that one there with you when you come, okay? So anyhow, and let's see what else. Oh yeah, I don't see. I spoke my piece about assuming when it comes to other people. You know, um, I spoke about YouTube. Spoke about St. Patrick's Day. Spoke about getting ready for whatever. If you're able to label your video child friendly,
getting outside finally.
just stop the comments. Yeah, they did. I clicked it on child friendly and they shut the comments off. So I went back and I put those 2 videos to not child friendly, and I got the comments back right away. I mean, there wasn't any rote to it, but yeah, I turned them back on. So it's a YouTuber. pulling their stuff, and it's not cool, but it is what it is. All we can do is
Poching. The
yes.
shamrock brought here.
I knew you would like it. No, we weren't making fun of anybody that's Irish, but yeah, it was just a different way of putting St. Patty's Day, you know, and having a little humor with it. Um, because I have nothing against anybody. I don't care what people's nationalities are. I look inward on them. You know,
I do, but
sometimes
that's my own personal preference.
sometimes their voice will tell you a lot. And sometimes it don't matter. You know,
Poching.
people think what they want to think. But yeah, Pachin is the little Irish in me coming out. I don't know. He, they're good people. Yes, thank you, thank you. But we need to name them, Cajun. They need names. They're nameless. We need to, And who were the first two names that came to mind when you seen that, Cajun? Just wondering. Asking for a friend.
Inquiring gnomes want to know, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Good point.
And what would you name them if you could name them, Cajun? Slender and friendly? I don't know. Hey, I could resemble that old timer. Just saying. And you notice I did have a t-shirt with them, so one was on one shoulder, one was on the other. It was kind of folded up to where nobody'd know it was a shirt, but the theory was there still, you know. So, and I did do a video on I did a video for those that assumed, you know, and explained that the green suspender deal was just a deterrent so somebody couldn't suspend and penalize people. But yeah. Yeah, well, to him you are an old timer, And yeah, so it was a friendly joke. It wasn't nothing, and why others assumed. See, this is all tying together here. I don't know,
Well, I
but
mean, it's kind of bad when you got to make PSAs for for something that just requires common sense. Not a lot, just
well, yeah, I mean, and the one I think it was on our show got John was on, and he says, "Well, I'd go broke if I did that," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's the whole point. So therefore, you can, you know, because I don't want you going broke, but you know." Ah, he's putting in his fertilizer pump. That's awesome for your plants. Now, let's see, he's listening and reading. Is this where we start spelling words? I mean, it's kind of like counting. you know. Uh,
Let's say a bunch of random numbers, letters, shapes, and objects.
you gotta put piece Z into piece X and loop it around with S and T and over the B and down to Y. There. Ta-da! It still don't work. Oh well. Scrap that one. Go to another one. If all else fails, have Colt come in and show me how to do it. Aha! Listening and having a few Guinnesses in Erie.
Few Guinnesses, huh?
I hope so. Looks like mist, hard freeze. They will. They were predicting for us. Plants should be good. Danny, that's a blessing. A huge blessing. Sorry, didn't mean to mess you up there, Danny.
Do they
He
still
can't.
put those little stirring plastic rubber thingies in Guinnesses? Because I remember they used to do that long time ago.
I don't know. I've never seen him do it that way.
Yeah, and the glass bottles, they used to have these little s- plastic spinner thingies inside. Long time ago, though. It's like back in the early 2000s.
Oh no.
I don't know if they still do that or not.
Now looks like we have too thin 1200 cucumber seeds. That all started this year. LL. Wow. Hey Danny, the manual, the instruction manual, don't it have pictures too? Because I know most of the things you buy nowadays, they don't have words. They don't have numbers. They have It's like they took the Lego building books attitude and just drew pictures and shows you, you put this in here and you put that there and yeah, I love those manuals. It's like, okay, now hopefully somebody's taught you how to read pictures, you know. But if you let a little kid read a picture to you, man, they come up with one heck of a good story and they haven't even gotten halfway through the first area of the picture, you know. It's like they read their books all the time. They know what those stories are. And then when you actually read the book to them, that ain't how that goes. They know exactly how it goes, but how you read it, the way it's wrote in the book, that ain't how it goes. Just ask them, they'll tell you. They do, but the instructions are pretty vague. Yeah, right. And I don't blame you for making sure. Yeah, I know how to read pictures too, but I ain't Cajun. It's just, and sometimes if I don't understand the picture, I'll get one of the kids because they deal with their Lego stuff, you know. And they're like, "No, you got that piece wrong. It's gotta go this way." Boom, boom. Oh well, it goes together now, you know. But and I love the manuals that they used to give out where there was no pictures, nothing in English. It was all foreign language, and you're standing there going, "Now how's this gonna work?" You know. So you gotta get the box out and pray to Hosh that there is no missing pieces, that go on the inside of something. so you can figure out how to put whatever it is together. Yeah, those were the fun days. So anyhow, yeah, is that's why, yeah, I'm with Danny on things. You don't assume. You check it out, make sure it's gonna go right and stuff. Then and make sure all the parts and pieces are there too. Cause I love
Yep.
it when they say, "Oh, well, we've included everything that you need." And then you get it, and the one thing that you need the most ain't there. I mean, it's crazy stuff, but hey, it's how the world goes. Keeps things lively and spicy, you know. So yeah, I just I don't know. I'm itching. Danny's making me jealous. Why? 'Cause he's got warm weather, and we're not warm enough for planting. But hey, we're melting up here, so that's a good thing, you know. If I get desperate today, I'll just go outside and watch the snow melt. Yeah, that's a good thing to do too. Have backup parts for things. Wow, you're 65 already? What are you gonna get? About 80? Because you got quite a while before. Well, I guess it's
All
after
right, later,
12.
Poching.
Alright, Poutine, go find the leprechaun. And you enjoy your day too, hon. He's after the leprechaun because he wants the pot of gold. But, yeah, we were like 26 all night. We're supposed to get up to like 54, I think it is. 52, something like that. Maybe it's
Yeah,
just
that's
50.
a nice
But,
chill weather.
yeah. I mean, it's warm enough that the stuff is melting, which really makes me excited. You know, not that. That's about it for today. Maybe 68. Oh, yeah. He's gonna be in 70s. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Petit. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Poching, poching, poching.
I can't wait till I can get out there. Danny was doing yard work yesterday. He's rocking it, man, I'm telling you. I'll be running around going, slow down, Danny, slow down, I'm catching up. Yeah. Gotta make sound effects for everything I use. Just saying. You know, so you can annoy the neighbors. And when you shut down your push more, you gotta make sure you go boom. Yeah, you gotta have that backfire so it shuts off. I hate it when your push more keeps running and there's not an engine on it. Just saying. You know, it's like the weed eater that's a manual weed eater. We used to call them whips, but yeah, they call them manual weed eaters now. Yeah, if you don't do the backfire, that thing might just keep on swinging around, cutting weeds down. That would really confuse the neighbors, you know. Or the expensive chainsaw that I had. Well, I still have it. The pruning shears, you know. I mean, I use them. I don't care. Makes it a little hard for the neighbors to know when I'm cutting stuff because there's nothing loud and obnoxious running.
Which they should be thankful for, right? Because there's no noise.
Yeah, no noise, no pollution. You know, no oil leaks. No, no spark plug being broke off. So I don't have to say a few choice words because I gotta use my tools to get the doggone thing out. You know. Heck, nowadays you can't even go to a gas station and have your car work done. You gotta go to an actual uh dealership or a body shop place to have your car worked on. They
Well,
don't
now you
really
got to
have.
pull out a loan. Now you got to pull out a loan to get gas.
Gotta take out a mortgage, isn't it? Not a loan.
Either one, a
Yeah,
loan or a
'cause
mortgage. Either
you gotta
way.
have collateral for it. I mean, but that's okay. I
Or
mean,
start applying shit too to get gas.
how how are people gonna cut their yards and plow their gardens when they can't afford the gas? You know, or they can't afford the electricity to run the electric stuff.
'Cause I had to sell my lawnmower to get gasoline.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just crazy. You know, I won't have to worry about selling mine, but you know, a lot of people don't understand that. But how are they gonna cut things? Cut their grass? You know, if they have a homestead, then that means that they're not living in town or a village. They're living outside of one, someplace. You know, and if they have a farm, well, they're definitely out in the country. Either way you want to go. You know, so that means that they've got animals. They can use their animals to cut the grass. So that's fine and dandy. But not everybody has that. You know, and a lot of people don't even have a yard, let alone. Did you ever try mowing the yard on a apartment that's 2 stories up in the air? Whew, it's tricky, tell ya. You know, but yeah, apartment places they don't usually have to mow their yards. The maintenance man and the yard crew they do it. You know, but still, what's gonna happen when they can't afford it? You know, think about it. And everybody can laugh. Might not might not be hurting their pocketbooks right now. That's okay. It will be before long. Because a gallon of gas could easily go over $9 a gallon. So, and that's not even that's before winter even. So, yeah, I think the people that may have booked vacations at Disneyland and other places, they're going to be going, well, I guess we don't get to go there this year. We need that money so we can get gas to go to work 2 days, you know? Or we need that money so we can buy groceries for his kids so they've got something to eat. Just saying.
Just insane.
And we're not doing any fear mongering. We're just being honest. You know.
I mean, it's not even remotely near fear mongering. If people start assuming that we're fear mongering, then they don't understand what fear mongering means. Because
Well,
I
here's
mean, we're
another
all
thing. Here's another thing. You have a shovel. I have a shovel. We use our shovel in the garden. When we get done, Do we leave the dirt on the shovel or do we clean it up? Do we have to do anything else for maintenance to the shovel? If
Leave
you
the dirt
say
on the shovel for the next day.
if you say no, then you're in trouble. If you say
Uh,
yeah, um, then you're in trouble. You know, and yeah. Thanks, Christy. She she deleted, timed him out, and I removed him. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Um,
yeah.
you know, if you say no, you're sadly mistaken. There's more to taking care of your tools than, oh well, we can just put it, in the garage dirty because you don't put it in the garage dirty. You know, you take care of it. You clean off the dirt. You rinse the dirt off if you need to, and then you let it dry, and then you put a little bit of oil on it. And if you don't think you do, that you need to, go ask somebody that actually knows how to take care of the tools. They'll tell you, oh, yes, you do. Hi, Rebel
There you
Canner.
go.
But yeah, I mean, you gotta take care of everything. If you don't take care of it right, it ain't gonna last you. It'd be like not taking care of your canner, you know, and abusing it and don't take care of it right and making sure that your gaskets on it are good, you know. Um, you gotta take care of it all. Well, your shovel and your rake and your hoe, which not everybody uses those things anymore, but they're gonna learn how to in short time fashion. I'm telling you. You gotta take care of this stuff. If you don't, it ain't gonna last you.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people that live in like condos and apartments, and their parents or grandparents pass away, and they inherit a lot of tools, a lot of gardening tools, a lot of yard tools, and they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with them. They don't know how to take care of them. You know. Well,
They end up giving them away or just throwing them away.
the reason that they've lasted as long as what they have is because they took care of them. For one, two, you gotta maintenance your tools. Okay, just like a chainsaw. If you don't keep that chain sharpened and you don't use the right oil, your chainsaw ain't gonna last you. And I don't care if it's electric or gas, it ain't gonna last. Alright, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know the right way to take care of whatever it is, you know? Because the throwaway days, they're gone, and people, even through the throwaway era, I didn't throw away. It's like, uh, during your time, God's night, when you were little, remember the fancy shoelaces when that was the craze in the 80s? I had kids that would go and take and tie knots in their shoelaces, and then I'd catch them with scissors. What are you gonna do with that? Well, I gotta cut my shoelace. I can't get the knot out of it. Well, that's fine. Come here. And I'd sit them down and I'd undo the knots. There, now we don't need to get new shoelaces. Darn it,
Right
Mom,
now,
everybody else has them. We need them too. I don't care what everybody else has. We don't have the money for it. Hi, Brokenot. You know, um, it's just, yeah,
right now.
he's got
Yeah, when
hoppins.
yeah, when Converse are really Converse, real Converse, not these dumb garbage knockoff modern day what they call Chucks and the
Yeah,
flat shoelaces, the boot laces on tennis shoes. But yeah, I remember all that stuff.
yeah. And the kids would get so mad at me because I was like, "What do you mean you need new ones?" No. Well, these aren't pretty. These are plain. I don't care. We can't afford them. We're getting by with what we got, and we take care of what we got, so it lasts longer. I mean, the days of just going to the store and grabbing whatever every day or every couple days, those days are
Yeah,
coming to an end fast. And all you have to do is watch the prices on stuff around you. You know, gas prices been going up 3 times a day. Most people don't realize it, but it has. It's been going up 3 times a day, every day. And when, where did you draw the line in the ground? And when do you start going, ow, that hurts? You know?
yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you hopped onto YouTube, Raghunath. He put a little hobbit down for a nap. But yeah, you know, it, it's getting to that point, and people are, oh, it don't affect me. It don't affect me. Sooner or later, I hate to tell you, but it's affecting a lot of people, a lot of places already. To the point they've got people leaving stickers on the gas pumps, and it's got a picture of somebody, and it says, "I did that." Yeah, so gas stations don't know what to do about it either. But then again, the truth hurts, I guess, sometimes for them. But they're busy blaming everybody but themselves. Yes, Reganat, you are right. The people that have come accustomed to disposable lifestyles are in for a very huge awakening. And, it's like I've always said for many years, you want to cause death to a young person? Shut off the internet. Shut off their smartphones. Ah, they don't know how to function. You know. Yep, you're right. Exactly. Um, awesome, Cajun. That'll be so cool. But yeah, and they the gas ain't the only thing that those people have done. All these shortages, they're man-made. I don't care who you are. I don't care what party or non-party or whatever. It's all man-made, and because they want everybody to do what they want. It's just the way it is, and uh, it's not necessarily good for us, but sure is good for their pocketbooks. You know, it's like somebody, and I don't say any names, said, "Well, you just need to buy electric cars." Well, that's fine and dandy. Just one problem up here: we don't have the plugins for them. We don't have the charging stations along the road every so far. Yeah, The electric cars ain't gonna work up here because you gotta have that kind of stuff in order to have them, and they cost like $65,000 a car. That's not counting all that other stuff. So let me know how that works for you. Another person said, "I'll just buy bicycles." Okay, let me know how that's gonna work for you too. You know, I would be all for it if the bicycle tires were solid rubber, which, believe it or not, the bicycle tires on bikes, even the adult bikes, used to be solid rubber. You didn't get flat tires on your bicycles.
Yeah, I owned a Huffy that had the solid rubber tires. I love that bike.
Yeah. Um, nope, that ain't gonna happen. Cajun, that ain't gonna happen.
Can't even get a battery for those things at $1,500.
Yeah.
That's like a catalytic converter right there. $1,500, like a low to mid end catalytic converter right there.
Okay, Rebel Canner. We'll see you soon. Talk to you later. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, I mean, another person. Well, tell you what you do, all you gas driving freaks. Drive your vehicle slower. Yeah, that'll save you gas. So if you gotta go someplace and it takes you 2 hours to get there, you better start out 4 hours early because you gotta drive slower. You know, just saying. I mean, yeah, everything they say to do is, yeah, just add work, inconvenience for us. You know. So yeah, it's just their way of stirring the pot and making everyone miserable. But everybody's gonna find out where their limits are on. You have a great day too, Cajun. I
All right,
hope you
later,
don't
Casey.
make a mess on it too. I hope you work it out good and hook it up right the first time. Ruganock, they've had the farmers dump milk out on the fields for years, several centuries, because they wanted to keep the milk price high and they had to control it. And then they said, "Oh, raw cow's milk ain't good for you." Well, guess what? That raw cow's milk is a lot better for you than what the store bought stuff is.
Yep.
And several years ago already, they had a judge down in Texas, and he ordered all the milk in the stores to be labeled fake milk because they cook all the good stuff out of it when they. Well, thank you, Cajun. Um, when they process it, they cook all the good stuff out of it. You know. Yeah, they're the ones that are making the shortages on everything, and it's like those lovely sanctions. They're not gonna hurt who they think they're gonna hurt. They know it's not gonna hurt who they think it's gonna hurt. They know it's gonna hurt us.
Yeah, it's meant for the people, not
Yeah,
for the global elite leaders and governments. It's for the people.
yeah,
The sanctions is meant to hurt the people, not anyone else but that.
yes, it has. It's all. all been going on for a long time, and um, there is no difference in the way that they process stuff now than what they did back in the 30s and 40s and 50s. There's no reason for this high price like everything is right now. None. Yep, you're right. They turn good into bad, and then they want you to consume what will make you sick. You know. However, they don't do what they tell you to do. You know, that's just for us to do, not for them to do. Why? Because they forget they work for the people. Just saying, and I don't care which party you talk about, because remember that bird's got two wings, and those wings have to match. If those wings don't match, that bird don't fly.
Exactly.
Yeah, McDonald. That is what is so funny. A lot of us are laughing about it because one, a lot of the people that worked in those places still live there, so they know how to make and operate the equipment and stuff, right? Two, by them shutting down and not selling and blah 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 blah, it means no, it's not hurting the people. It's not hurting Putin. It's not hurting the elite. No, the people over there are eating healthier stuff now because they don't get the junk that's in that food. They don't get the junk that's in the Coca-Cola. But they do have people that worked in the Coca-Cola factory that knows the recipes and everything, and they can make it and they can make it better. So who are they hurting? It's like uh what they didn't realize is when they put the sanctions in over there, them countries went and put sanctions in towards the US, okay? And a lot of your grains and a lot of your fertilizers come from over there, okay? So fertilizers are going to be hard to come by over here, and grains will be too. So I asked God tonight one night, I says, well, apparently the upper crust, the elites, don't like their bread anymore, you know? And, um, Ruganock, I don't know what you're talking about. What bot? I don't see no bot. You know, but yeah, I did. I said, well, apparently the upper crust, because when they made the bread in the dome ovens over in England, the bottom of them was the bottom side was always a little darker than the top side. And so instead of cutting bread like we cut it nowadays, side by side, up and down, you know, they used to cut it across. And so that way they didn't have to eat the darker bottom crust. And that's how they got the saying upper crust, you know. Must have been some snow in your eye. It's okay. It didn't hurt you. And that's what that was all about. Well, that's why I made the comment that I made about, well, apparently the upper crust don't like their bread anymore because they shot themselves in the foot on that one. There's a lot of things. You go to Amazon and a lot of things that was being sold. not just Russia stuff, okay, but a lot of the other European country stuff that was being sold on Amazon, they ain't got it no more. It's gone. And they don't know if it'll ever come back. They say it right out. So, yeah. I mean, they got some cool stuff over there, you know, but don't know. Don't know if it'll ever be brought back or sold in so we can buy any of it or not. That's pretty sad, you know, because it was pretty neat stuff. And I mean, how many people are gonna be willing to wash their clothes by hand? Well, it's either you do it by hand one way or another, or you won't be washing clothes. You know, you're gonna have to hang it up outside or have a place in your house where you can get put a clothesline or clothes rack up and dry your clothes that way in the wintertime too, so you don't freeze your hands. Because frozen hands is not a fun thing to deal with. You know, and how many people are gonna be willing to do it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy. It just yeah, so do we. We do ours by hand too. I have a wash machine that you have to operate by hand, and then the old-fashioned rollers. Well, a lot of your stuff nowadays you can't put through those rollers, so you have to actually wring it out by hand. But that's okay because you build up your biceps and your forearms and your fingers, wringing stuff out. You want to get it as wrung out as possible. And I can take a pair of jeans for a very really tall person and have it wrung out so small that it fits in one hand. And I got small hands. So, and then you hang it up and it don't drip out hardly any water at all. So the drying time cuts down. But yeah, you know, how many people are going to be willing to carry water or have a way to transport it? You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that's going to be changing, and I don't know if everybody's going to be willing or able to adjust to it, accept it, you know, function, you know. Yeah, a wash bladder and tub, you know. I have you heard of a Saint John's wash machine? It's a manual washer, and the bar goes back and forth, which agitates the water, which agitates the clothes, you know. And we use that, you know. Yes, I do have a washboard, and I do have wash tubs. Oh yeah, you know, and I know how to use them, you know. But how many other people do? And here's a helpful hint. If you have a washboard that's hanging on your wall that you bought as a decoration for your house, even though it's a little bitty thing, go ahead and laugh. Even though it's a little bitty thing,
No, I laugh because I've seen how people have those in their houses as
even
collector's items.
yeah, but even the little ones with a pot, for a box for a plant to be sat in, those are still able to be used to wash your clothes. Just saying.
Oh, I know, that's why I laugh. Because it's funny
Yeah,
because a lot of people do have those hanging in their houses
yeah,
inside on
you
the
know.
wall. I was like, you could use that. Nah.
Yeah. What do you mean I can use that? Well, yeah, you can use it for your clothes. Well, no, I don't know how to do that. That'll ruin my clothes. That'll ruin that silk shirt I've got. How dare you? You know. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting a kick out of this, Roanoke, because of the simple fact I know you guys are gonna do fine. You, they have a very actually they have the typical size family, okay? And the reason I say actually they have the typical size family, they do because back in the day the families were big families like his. Okay, they've got like 11 young ones, you know, and yeah, normally back in the day, families were bigger families. They weren't like they are nowadays. One and a half, two and a half kids. I that always cracks me up. You have two and a half kids. Most the average family has two and a half kids. Okay, they get a boy and a girl, and then a half other one. Do they get the top half or the lower half of that third child? You know, yes. And I'm not knocking him, for having that many children. But yes, that was the way families used to be. Instead of this, eat, little a couple kids and that's it. You know. And another thing is um the kids, they help out with the chores and stuff, but yet the parents also adjusted their lifestyle around the kids just to a point too. Why? Because they made sure the kids had time to play too, because little ones need that time to play, you know, and they can learn. They love to learn. They love to help out, even when you don't think they're being helpful. It's I'm just trying to be helpful. I'm trying to show you. Excuse you, Dad. Darn it! I'm trying to show you I can do this. Well, but honey, leave me alone. I can do this. You know, and yeah, they're trying to show you that they can do it their way. Might not be your way, but they're trying to show you they can do it their way. And it's basically trying to show you I understand. I watch what you do, how you do it, and this is how I see it being done. This is how I see you doing it. You know, and I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a teenager, a young person, an old person, a little kid. They learn something new. They're gonna be slow at, okay? But the more you do it, the faster you get. The more you do it, the more natural it comes to you to be able to do it. You know? Yeah. Uh, I find that a little confusing. You know, because I'm sorry, but there's only two, male and female. I mean, stop and think about it. How many people do you know go, oh, today I feel like being a rug, so people can just walk all over me, or I feel like being a footstool, so you can sit down and put your feet all over me. Well, that's what that other stuff reminds me of.
Yeah, that's called role playing.
Okay, is that what it actually is? I was always wondering,
Yep.
but Actually, it's all in the approach, how you deal with teaching them. Right. Yeah, and I mean, still you allow them to have time to play and be kids too, you know, and that's normal, because you want them to keep learning. Well, in order to keep learning, you also gotta let them have time to do what they consider fun, you know, running around in circles or chasing each other, playing tag or jump rope and whatever, you know, for a little bit, and then you get them to do some more work. And oh, gotta wait, we gotta eat now, so we gotta take a break for that. Oh, we gotta take a break for the restroom. Yeah, apparently, um, those in office are really on a long escape from reality. Just saying, you know. Right. Mixing up play and work, yeah. And here's another thing I always like to do. Um, because with mine I have to slow them down and say, "Hey, it's not a competition." But um you not all the time, but once in a while, like, okay, I want to see how many sticks you can pick up and put in a pile. You know, well, they'll get the sticks picked up faster. Why? Because they're proud. They want to show you how fast how big of good of a job they can do. So you end up with this big pile of sticks, and then you're like, okay, now we gotta put all those sticks and move them over to where we gotta go. You know, but you gotta make sure everybody takes drinks and goes to the bathroom. And you know, when you don't live out in the country, you can't become one with the tree. So you gotta actually go in the house. But when we grew up, I kid you, the town was still there, and it still had outhouses in the into 2000s, right? We didn't knock on doors. Hi, can I borrow your bathroom? No, we didn't. We did not do that. People couldn't believe this. We went to the closest outhouse, done our thing, and went on because the outhouses all had toilet paper in them. Okay, but we do it, take care of what we had to do, go right back out to playing. Once in a while, you'd hear, "Hold on, I gotta go get a drink. I'll be right back." Well, that meant that somebody was going in to grab a drink of water, and they're coming back out to play. You know, and we didn't have to be home until the street light turned on. Man, that took a long time for that street light to turn on in summertime, you know. But back then, we all knew each other's vehicles and stuff and who, everybody in the area was. We didn't have people coming in from all over. It was too far to drive, you know. So people stayed in their own areas, which it was a lot safer, you know. But nowadays, go outside. You can't play outside all day. Why? Because you gotta go inside and go to the bathroom. Unless you live out in the country. Then if you live out in the country, you got plenty of bushes and stuff. Not a problem. But if you live out in the country and it's flat land and the farmers have cut down all the trees, you're gonna play heck finding a place to squat about them and do your thing. You're gonna have to go inside. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just how many people are gonna want to have to put in a outhouse and make sure that it's 6 feet deep? you know, and you don't fasten your outhouses down. There was a reason why they didn't cement them down, so that they could move them when that one got full. They
Yeah.
could move it, put a new one in. That's why the outhouses were never fastened down. So yeah, and your hole's got to be 6 feet deep, so that way the stuff don't. If you put it less than that, the rain comes down, it can flood it out, and then that's when you get all the diseases. You know, and you don't like the smell of it. Okay, you can put wood chips. Sprinkle some wood chips down in there, or you can sprinkle some ash from a wood fire down in there. My 7-year-old prefers to go outside. He will pull his boots and jackets on and go out and pee even in the snow. Oh, yeah, that could be the side effects of having 6 sisters. Yeah,
Always occupied. Huh?
he's got quite a few kiddos, but you know, and he'd have to have one of those, like my one-room schoolhouse. It was it came complete. It had two outhouses. One was for boys and one was for girls. You know, and two-seaters were meant that you were living high on the hog. You know, so yeah. And another thing about those outhouses, man, they are good for being ovens in the wintertime. You can make really good mud cakes in those outhouses. You just gotta put your little mud cakes on where the seats are. Mm-hmm. And then hope like heck that some big person don't go out and sit down and ruin all your mud cakes. I mean, I can honestly say that from personal experience. Yeah, I got in trouble. The person that ruined my mud cakes, nothing happened to them. How rude. But at least I knew that you needed someplace hot, and I didn't have to worry about electric or gas. I mean, it was a natural heated situation. I was just using it to my benefit. So much for the brain of a 4-year old, you know. But yeah, that's why I say with children, you you want to watch the world from their eyes. You'll see comedy hour real fast. You want to know how a child learns. Look at things from his eyes or her eyes. You know, it's comedy hour, but you'll be amazed what you learn because you look at things through their eyes. And besides, just because we're older don't mean we're not to let the child in us come out and have fun too. You know. And here's another thing. I was going to talk about this, because yes, yes, you have to be able to use something for more than one use, otherwise you're throwing away and wasting. You know. Another thing I was gonna say is back in the 40s and the 50s, the government started pushing for people to go out to restaurants and eating out, not eating at home. Well, now they're shoving it so that nobody can afford to go out and nobody can go out to eat, and any of that stuff, you know? And it hasn't been that long ago
or
that
even
they
eat
were
at
the ones.
home now.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's
that long
expensive.
ago that that's what they were pushing. Right along with the engagement rings and diamonds, you know, and all that good stuff in life. Heck, it wasn't that long ago that the companies, when they went to make up a jingle, they had contests, and they would ask all the housewives to write down a jingle and send it into the company, and the ladies did. And whatever the jingle was for, whatever product it was for, they in exchange for the jingle, they got the product for free. And that's how they'd come up with jingles for the product, for the companies and stuff. A lot of people don't know that, you know. But yeah, that's how the government suckered everybody into the latest, the greatest. Got to keep up with the Smiths. Oh, I want to keep up with the Jones. Oh, I want to keep up with the Johnsons. You know. And how about looking at something in a book, magazine, and going, oh, I bet you I can make that. Save money doing it too. Or looking at clothes and going, hey, Martha, you're good at sewing. You think you can make this dress or this suit? Yeah. Would it cost that much money? No. Awesome. All right, let's rock it. You know, all the excesses to pad their pockets while we lose our values and end up in with junk. Exactly. You know, exactly. And things have to have more than one purpose, or do you really need it? You know, I mean, your wash tubs, your rinse tubs, heck, they use them for more than just washing clothes. But if you stain them up, man, you better have one heck of a good excuse for that because Miles gonna take it out of your hide. Just saying. Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's how they came up with the jingles for the products. Um, they would ask the housewives across the nation. They'd listen to. This is before they had television. Okay, they would listen to the radios, and the company would say, "All right, Sniffleops has a brand new product, and we need a jingle for it. So this is the product," and they would describe it to you. Now we want every all the women to write down a jingle about this product, and we want so many words, and that's it, not no more. And we want you to send it to Left Ball Lane, Suite, or apartment, or whatever, P.O. Box, whatever, of School of Hard Knocks, USA. And the housewives would sit there and they'd write it down on a piece of paper until they got just right, and then they put it in an envelope and put a uh, stamp on it, and they'd ship it off, and the company, all right, tonight, you know, at a certain day on a certain time, all right, tonight's when we announce the winner of the contest. Mrs. Roanoke, yes, you wrote a lovely jingle. We like it. We're going to need to use it. We're sending you the present or the gift. You've won yourself a nose blower, one of a kind, made in the USA. Yes, it powders and shines your nose so you don't have to worry about it. Whatever the product was. And that's how they did it. But yeah, now stuff is made so cheap they make it to break, so you have to keep buying. It's like all these factories, all of these. Yes, it was a joke. You know that, um, Mr. and Mrs. Roanoke. but but that's how they did it. That's how they would do it. Okay. Um, and all these factories in America, they closed them up. They're like big cities. They closed them up. They quit producing. They took the jobs and left the country. There ain't nothing
Hmm.
wrong with this stuff. They could open them up, get them working again, put the people of America back in business. They don't want to do that, you know, because the American made product was a lot better made. If you have stuff from the 30s and the 20s and the 40s and the 50s, you have something very, very good because they were built to last. Yep, companies used to be take pride in their products, last forever, you know. And not only that, if it had a guarantee with the product, the companies honored the guarantee. Nowadays, yeah, okay, not so much. Okay, not at all. But hey, it's worth more than the paper it's wrote on, and a lot of times you can't even get the manuals. You have to download them off the internet, the manuals that go with the product, because the companies don't even print them out anymore. Well, that's fine and dandy. Just one problem. If you get something and you don't have a manual for it and that internet goes down, I'll wait for you to tell me how good that manual is working for you now, baby. You know? I mean, seriously. These companies, oh yeah, they manipulate and finagle and everything all the time. It's crazy, crazy stuff, you know? And I don't care what country they're from, they all do it. They all do it, you know? Yep. Give you the runaround, and nobody understands what their job is or what the guarantee is. And oh, that's like, I've had phone calls from some lady I don't know, and she's calling somebody that's Spanish speaking, which I'm not, and I don't have any translators here that can translate her phone call for me. So I told her the other day, no Espanol, and I hung up. I don't know if she'll call me again or not. But yeah, she just rattles right all along on Spanish. And yeah, go ahead, laugh, God's sake. You're never around. My other friend, the Spanish translator, he's not around either, so who am I supposed to ask? Can you please come and translate this phone call for me? The phone call would be over before anybody got here, you know? I had to try telling her, please, will you please call me back at, Friday at 2 o'clock? I'll have a translator here. And see if what she does then, you know? Because, yeah, I know enough Spanish so I will not go hungry. And that's about it.
That's all you really need
Um,
to know. The basics.
Several years ago, a friend of mine, his mom was still alive, and his one son was getting married, and his grandmother, or his mom wanted me to put her recipes that she had in order for a cookbook, right? And I done great with the ones that were in English. And then there was a bunch of them old, handwritten Spanish. And so I asked my friend, I says, well, I don't understand these. And he's like, this is this is beef, this is pork, this is chicken. Aha, that did not help me. Why? Because he said the Spanish word for it, but it didn't help me to see what the Spanish word was wrote down. Okay? So I'd read the recipes until I could find something that clicked. Okay, I'll put that with this department. Grab the next one. There was a couple of 'em I wasn't sure because I couldn't find a word that clicked with me. Right? This is how bad my Spanish is. And so I hauled off and I went, eeny, meeny, miny, Mo goes there. And Joe, you go there. There. Got it done, gave it to her. And I says, some of it I'm not sure if I got it right or not. And she says, no, you've done a good job. It took me 2 weeks to do this. Yes. You know. And then another friend, well, you had to be the one to do it. Nobody else could do it but you. No, it is the fact that nobody else wanted to do it, and she wasn't asking, she was telling me I was going to be the one to do it. That was it in a nutshell. Well, that friend found out later. What goes around comes around. Well, she didn't like that either because it came around to her. And I just stood there and laughed and went, well, now you know how I felt. But
The
it's
foot
all
is
good.
on the other shoe.
Yep, it was all good. Because our one friend's mom moved right across the hall from her. Yep, so she was getting it every day for quite a while. I was like, oh, sorry to hear that. But yeah, I was glad to help her. She was a good person. And it was kind of funny because I ended up telling her son something, and I looked at her and I says, "Am I right or am I wrong?" I says, "Maybe you might not know it either." And she said, "No, you're right." And my friend went, "Now wait, whoa, stop and back it up and explain this one to me. How can you know that? I didn't know that, and she knew that, but I didn't know that." I'm like, it was common sense, you know. And I said, it just the old ways come to me. I can't explain it, but so I had to explain it to him again, and I did. And I said, "Did I do a good job?" And I looked over at his mom and said, "Did I do a good job?" And she says, "You said it perfect." Like, haha, yeah. Sometimes it expands from there. Sometimes no, it don't expand. But you know, and then we had another neighbor, and they were lovely people. They really were. They were an older couple, and Grandpa Bob and Grandma Ruby. They were a lovely couple. I loved them. Anyhow, his kid, yeah, his kids and his grandkids, they made me and my oldest son laugh because it was anytime we ask if we can help, we get told no, and we started laughing. We're like, huh? We help them do all kinds of neat things. We have adventures, you know. The one day I seen him out on his front porch shucking the corn. I was like, man, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna help him. because he's doing something that I haven't gotten to do in quite a few years. So I went over there and I helped him shuck the corn. And he couldn't believe it. We got the corn done, shucked faster than what he was expecting. But we also had a good visit too, you know. And another adventure I had was Grandpa um, Bob built a little terrarium, and Grandma Ruby told him that he couldn't do it. It wouldn't grow the tomatoes that he wanted. And Grandpa says, "Oh yes, it will." I go over and I help him. I'm talking. I says, "Well, it should. I don't see why not." Man, those tomatoes grew up tall. The little bitty greenhouse, it wasn't even 2 feet tall. Okay, I still have it, and nobody could figure out why I wanted that greenhouse. So I'm like, there's a story behind this greenhouse, you know. But yeah, they couldn't believe it. They're like, "Well, when we ask, we don't never get to help." I'm like, "Did you ever try to just help? Just join in helping, join in doing whatever it is they're doing?" I said, "Because you join in, you know what you're doing. You're helping them do what they want to do. You're talking, you're visiting, you're having a good time. You'd be surprised." And then after they moved to the assisted living area, uh, their son-in-law was cutting the tree, pruning the trees. He was pruning the trees, and he's cutting the big branches off and you know cutting it up. And then he had branches and big pieces of logs all over. I was like, "Ah, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna help him." Didn't say anything. I just showed up and I started putting it in the wagon. And he's like, "Wow, this lady knows how to chuck wood." And the next thing I knew, uh, my oldest son comes down and he's like, "Well, we can do this too." So we both did it. Okay, the second time he came. The third time he came, he comes back with his wife. We didn't go down to help. We're like, he's got backup with him this time. The kids were awake. They were little, so I couldn't. But it was funny. So, yeah. And when we chucked him full of wood, we chucked him full of a lot of wood. So, but yeah, it was just hilarious. We were having a good old time, you know. You never knew when the heck we'd show up or what we'd help with. But yeah, it was a good time, you know. And we never did it to get anything in return. We just did it because it was fun, you know. We were used to chucking wood, you know. I mean, but that's the one thing about it. That's why you hear me say, "Hey, if you don't know how to grow a garden, and you know an older person that knows how to grow a garden, because you never want to assume everybody knows how to grow a garden, because there are a lot of people, their moms and dads, their grandmas and grandpas did not grow gardens. Okay, so you don't never want to assume other people know how to, but you don't want to assume that they don't know how to. If they know something about it, then you can go from there. But if they don't know nothing about it, then you gotta start at square one with them. Okay?
Yeah.
But one thing about it, you do that, you're right. You get knowledge, they get knowledge, you get friendship, they get friendship, and that's why I say ask an older person that knows, knows how to grow a garden, because one, they're giving you your their time. Two, you're giving them company that they probably wouldn't have otherwise. So instantly, right there, and that fact alone, it's a win-win. Okay, just that part alone, it's a win-win. You're giving each other company and time, you know. And two, they're teaching you stuff, and maybe you figure out an easier way for them to be able to do something. Well, then you share that with them, and they might not be willing to accept it right away, but let them think about it. and either A, they'll try it, or B, they'll come and say, hey, God's night, you want to show me and explain it to me what you were getting at on how to do whatever, you know,
And I
because
would say,
they're willing
sure.
they're willing to learn, you know. Right. God's night is just that way. He's pretty helpful. And he likes to learn and he can teach, you know. So yeah, I mean, friendships like that, they're hard to come by. They are very hard to come by, you know. And I didn't never have to worry about disturbing my neighbors because they were all like 1 floor high, regular heights of a house, 1 story. And the house that we were renting the top of, the basement was above ground, so the first floor was equal to second floor, and the second floor was equal to third floor because it was all above ground, which put us above the dike across the street, which enables us to A, watch the cars on the road right in front of the house, B, watch the boats on the river, and C, we could see the trains going up and down on the Wisconsin line, Wisconsin side of the Mississippi River,
And you
which a
got
lot
the
of people thought,
trifecta. Dang.
yeah, which a lot of people thought we were crazy about seeing, but no, it was true. Yes, knowledge is the best gift. Sadly, it has become difficult these days to find true folks in these, like those, yes. But you know what? That's okay. Because it's like I said, you wanna kill off a bunch of young people fast, shut off their cell phones and the internet on them. They will
Yep.
not know how to function, you know, because that's all they know. That's all they've done their whole life. And you
Cool.
want them to wake up to the reality, shut that stuff off, and watch them look around going, oh my God, who are you? You're my what? Oh, that's not how I remember my mom and my dad looking. What do you mean? We got to what? We got to sit down at the table together and eat?
What's a broom? A broom? What's a broom?
Oh, I know what that is. That's something you sit on, you go boom, 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 boom. Ain't it?
A rake? What's that?
It's a comb.
Dustpan. What?
Yeah. And okay, so after supper, we go in the front room and we sit. We gotta talk to each other. We can't
Yeah.
do that. We don't have our smartphones anymore. They're broke. Yeah, exactly. Your kids are the smart ones, actually. You know, they might not know what a smartphone is, but I'll bet you if I gave them a tin can and a piece of string hooked up to, have it strung between the two tin cans, I bet you they'd figure that out real fast on how to use that as a phone. You know, because they would understand that one. You know, it's like red light, green light. Yeah, ollie ollie oxen free. Red rover, red rover. I'm playing with hoops and a stick. Yep.
Duck, duck, go. I always had fun with that one.
Duck duck goose.
Duck, duck, goose. Yeah, I know. But
Duck duck go.
like duck, duck, go now.
you know. But yeah, I mean, all those charades, actual old-fashioned charades, you know, sitting around singing songs together, playing music and singing songs together. Oh man, good old-fashioned old-time entertainment, having barn raisers, then having the party in the barn, celebrating the raising of the barn, and dancing on the floor in the hayloft, or the barn floor. Yep, good old-fashioned dancing. You know, those are the things that are gonna come back. People just don't know it. But then again, they have to want to entertain. Some kind of entertainment. Well, there you go. There's several different ones right there.
They're gonna
You
have to
know.
socialize. That's what they're gonna have to do. Most people are afraid of that now, socializing. What do I do? How do I talk to another human? I forgot how to human.
Hey, there we go. We could get rich. We could start the school business of Human 101.
Yeah,
Sign up. We'll teach you.
human one.
This is how you do it. You sit down on a chair here and you face the person sitting on the chair there and you look at each other and you talk. Start out with
Yeah,
saying hi, shake hands. Remember those good old times? Yeah. Manners are important. Chivalry is not gone. They just thought it was. Yes, we have forgotten how to human. Yeah. I mean, you know, anymore. Okay, like back in the day, everybody used to sit out on their front porch and visit with each other, talk to people going by. Well, we still sit out on our front porch, and what do we get? They're sitting out on the front porch. They're looking at us. They're watching our plays. Oh no. No, what are we doing? We're actually sitting on our front porch. We're looking at the birds. We're looking at the trees. We're looking at the ground, watching the squirrels run around. We're watching the butterflies and the bees.
they're
We're not
government spies. They're
watching the
watching us.
humans. You know? I mean, it's just funny. It's just funny than hoot. But, okay, whatever. You know? I mean, that's like, you know, somebody wants to talk with you. How are they going to do that when the cell phones don't work? The internet's not there. Oh, man. I gotta what? I gotta pull up to their house, park the car, get out, and knock on the. I gotta knock on their door.
I gotta make face contact, eye contact.
I gotta talk to them in person. Oh, that's scary. You
Yeah,
might get them out of their bedroom from underneath their covers to actually do that. But don't hold your breath on it happening
getting
anytime
face to
soon.
face.
You know? Right. You did. And that was the social media. You know? Not staring at the black screen and acting like, ooh, hey, Raganak. That's what I usually call a Boston built roast. Think about it, makes sense, don't it? Just saying. But yeah, you're right. Not acting like yeah, that word.
A fish out of water.
Well, it's a ATS. ATSS. I'm gonna have to look that word up.
Donkey?
Could be. Could be a jack. Could be a mule. Don't know. Have to look that word up. Could be a arsis. You know. Just saying. Could be. But yeah. I mean, people just, they're not gonna. Yes, that's what we need to do. We'll open up the school on the prim and proper ways to be human again. Yeah. You know, we'd have the biggest crew of people because even the teachers would be wanting to come to school to learn because they got the computers doing everything, even the teaching nowadays. And the teachers don't teach because they don't understand what they're supposed to be teaching, which is pretty sad. I mean, yeah, just saying. It's one of those hee haw times, you know. So that's why we always say don't assume when it comes to other people. Holy cows, we're going on 2 hours already. Dang, we're having fun.
Yeah.
Hot diggity dog diggity. But, you know, and there's nothing wrong with communicating. There's nothing wrong with helping each other learn something. There's nothing wrong with one person knowing how to do something and another person wanting to know how to do it. So they ask the person that knows something about it so they can learn,
Right.
you know?
I mean, you shouldn't be afraid to ask a question and not to be afraid of no or even a yes. I mean,
Right.
some people are
If you
afraid of, oh, yeah, I can help you. Wait, what?
Yeah, and if they tell you no, okay, so you learn that you can't ask that person for help because that person isn't going to
Exactly.
help you. Okay? That's not a bad thing. That gives you the upper hand. And you go down the
Hmm.
street a little farther, you find somebody else that knows how to do gardening, so you ask them, "Oh yeah, we'll help you." What? Yeah, we'll help you, not a problem. We'll teach you how to garden, not a problem. And if you have any problems and questions, you can come and ask. Oh, you got problems with your potatoes? Well, hold on, I'll come down, we'll check this out, figure out what's wrong. Oh, you need to this, or it's because you got that bug. Well, this is what you gotta do now. You know, I mean, yeah, that's how people learn. And not only that, back in the day, stuff was handed down, even in knowledge.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not handed down, you know? And not everybody's mommies and daddies and grandpas and grandmas done gardening. So they don't know how to do it. You can assume they do, but assumption is not a good thing to do, you know? And you can say what you want, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, assumption has a basis to go off of. Like, oh, I see you have gardening tools. You're a gardener? No, those are my cousins or my uncles. I don't know how to use that stuff. I don't know what that stuff is. Then you can safely assume, well, they don't know garbage. They don't know nothing about gardening. It's just garbage to them because they don't understand it. Or if you have no basis and you just quickly assume like, oh, you know how to garden. So I don't need to tell you anything. I didn't need to teach you nothing then, because you already know, because I believe you know.
Yeah. Or
There's
let's
no
say they've got,
blinkers. It's just
let's say you got garden tools
what
out
is it?
there, and what do you mean you don't use that for gardening? You got the tools, right? You got the rakes, you got the shovels. Don't tell me you don't know how. And you
Yeah,
got
but
hose.
I don't use them.
Don't tell me. What do you mean you're a construction worker? What? Oops. You know? And yeah, Roganok's right. Right. And they are losing their connection with knowledge of the past. And so that
Yeah.
knowledge fades into the dark. Exactly, Roanoke. Exactly. And if the moms and dads and the grandmas and grandpas didn't garden for whatever reason, the young people aren't going to know how to. So don't just assume, because I just proved to you, yeah, I have all the tools that gardening takes. I have the shovel, I have the rake, I have the hoe. Oh no, I don't garden. I do construction work, buddy.
Yeah.
There goes that theory right down the line. You know, I mean, I'm not putting anybody down, but dang, we can't do this assumption because there are a lot of people that don't know how to and they want to learn, you know,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of
and
people that don't even know how to. They don't know how to ride a bike, and they have bikes at their house, but it's not their bikes, or they were hand me downs or they were inherited, but they don't know how to ride a bike. So you assume, oh, you got a bunch of bikes, so you must know how to ride a bike, right? No, they're not even my bikes.
yeah, I mean, it's just, it's crazy stuff. It's like you have a sewing machine. What do you do sewing, huh? Well, if you do sewing and you have a sewing machine, you have to know how to make your own patterns.
Yeah,
No, I buy my patterns. Well, come on. You got no people that sew have to know how to make patterns. Well, no,
that's
I know.
impossible. It's impossible.
No, it's not impossible. I've done it, but you know, we can't assume. We have to
Not
talk. We have
everybody's
to find
DT,
out.
DT.
And if I wanted to learn about something to do with cement work that I didn't know, I'd have to find somebody that knew so I could learn from them and go, okay, I know up to this point here, but I want to do this. Well, okay, so we got you this far. Already to this point. Well, we got to figure out how to get you to the point where you understand what you want to do. You know? Yeah. Roanoke, I've always had the odd ones whose best friends were 10, 20, 30 years older than me. I value knowledge from all forms. Exactly. Um, when I was in kindergarten, I got in trouble because my friends lived right next to the school, and they'd be out in the garden. And so I'd go to the fence at the schoolyard and I'd talk to them through the fence. And the school teachers had to tell my friend and his wife, my other friend, that they couldn't come outside when it was recess time because they didn't want me talking to them anymore. Well, the kids at school didn't want nothing to do with me and they were more interesting. So who was you going to talk to? I went to the knowledge forum. We were talking about all kinds of things. We were talking about horses and cows, and they understood I was a farm person. I wasn't a, a city person, you know. But yeah, and when I got older and I lived in that village, I was the only one in the village that was allowed to ride their horses because I knew what the heck was going on. And everybody in town made their stories up, but I didn't care. I got to ride the horses; they didn't, you know. So because I knew what I was doing, you know. But anyhow, Yes, don't assume, don't jump to conclusions. Common sense has a long ways. It goes on a long ways on things a lot of the time. Um, don't put down young people. They're a blast to be around. I don't care what age they are. You know, you can always have fun. I mean, you watch a little kid, they'll sit on a step. What are you doing? Nothing. And yet they keep looking at the ground. What are you looking at? Nothing. And yet the whole time they're watching in amazement. They're watching the ants go around doing the ant thing. But they're not watching or doing anything. They'll act, you ask them, they'll tell you, I'm not doing nothing, you know. And then a couple days later, out of the blue, they come up and they got this big conversation they want to have with you about what they saw the ants doing that day. Well, I thought you said you weren't doing nothing. I wasn't, but I was watching,
Go as
wasn't
far
I?
as naming them. You don't mind.
You know? And little kids, young people, they watch the older people. They watch by the examples you set naturally, you know? So remember that one too. And if you set by examples, they they do actually have a stronger impression on the younger people. Words, they don't have to hear your words, but they watch your actions. And if your
Yeah, the
actions
actions
and your
speak
words
louder for them.
match, you score big time with them. But if your
Yep.
actions and your words don't match, you're not scoring nothing. You're losing. And that's a sad thing. But we've
Yeah.
been on for
Do what I
2 hours.
say, not
And
what I do.
Roanoke, one of these days we're going to have you on. You don't have to show yourself. Because as you can tell, we don't show ourselves. But we're not here to show ourselves as much as get the message across what our message is. Why? Because it's important. Um, when I do things around my house, I do manual. Okay, so I don't talk about stuff that I don't actually do. You know, and I show in in my videos stuff that I actually do by hand. But anyhow, I think we're gonna end it here on a positive note. Be kind to each other, teach one, show one, understand, guide each other, listen to each other, teach each other. It's a good day. We're alive, you know. And God bless you. You have a good week, and we'll see you same station, same time next Sunday.
All
All
right, later,
right.
everybody.
Bless
Talk to you
y'all.
later, JT.
All right. Bye bye.